right, next is another kind of new but very, very good friend of mine who is a former organizer in LA, on his way to New York via DC, and a playwright, Daniel May.
All right. So I did a little creative philanthropy diary, which I'm going to read to y'all, okay? So it starts the day of the first email. November 14th, 10:05 p.m. Fuck that Courtney Martin. Difference between me and that woman is that when I get an idea, I call my friend and then tell him about my sweet idea and then go make a sandwich. And then I read the paper and by 4 o'clock I can't remember the idea, and the next time I talk to my friend, they're like, what about that idea? And I say, yeah, that was a great idea. You hungry? November 14th, 10:15 p.m. Fuck that Courtney Martin. Why are the only ideas I can think of, 1, giving $100 to a hot dog vendor, or 2, giving $10 to 10 kids on a playground? It's cool, I got a month to figure it out. December 10th, 10 p.m. Fuck that Courtney Martin. Shit, I have a week. Okay, I got a week. What about I give $100 to a homeless guy and then him give money to other homeless people around the neighborhood? A friend of mine tells me, isn't that a little bit exploitative? Yeah, it is exploitative. Why am I such an asshole? December 10th, 1 a.m. in Minneapolis, drunk. The thing is, the childhood friend tells me, the bar you're up against is just randomly giving $100 to a guy on the street. And that's a pretty fucking high bar. Yeah, it is. You know, you either give a bunch of people a little bit of money, or one person $100. And I say, give the 100 randomly. So I think, all right, I got it. I'm gonna just stand in a corner and spin around with my eyes closed, and then open them and point to somebody, and then go up and give that person $100. And then I think, shit, what if I end up giving it to a Republican? I live in DC. Fuck that Courtney Martin. December 11th, 11 a.m. With my family at home in Minneapolis, out to breakfast, eating omelets. Hey guys, help me with this project. So my idea right now is to buy like 200 helium balloons and on each one write the name of somebody who died in Iraq over the last month, and then pass them out to people at the World War II monument, and then take pictures. To which my brother says, that's not philanthropy. To which I say, fuck, why am I such an asshole? He says, what about if you give the money to a homeless guy and then have him give you receipts to itemize what he gives you? To itemize what he buys. And then my mom says, why don't you sit down in a place where people are really rude and then wait till somebody does something nice and then give that person $100? To which the only response I can think of is, Mom, you are so gay. December 13th, 6 p.m. Okay. What if I go to a train station with a sign that says, what would you do with $100? And then I have a bunch of cards and people fill them out with what they're going to do with the $100. And then I decide from all those which is the best one, and then I call the person. No, wait. I don't want to put myself in the position of judging all of them. What about if I just draw them and then invite everybody back at 5 o'clock and draw it and then give that person $100? To which a friend of mine says when I run it by him, so you're just trying to get out of actually having to think of an idea for yourself. To which I say, fuck that Courtney Martin. December 13th, 1 p.m. You know teachers, Daniel, why don't you just ask one of them what they need most in their classroom? I don't know, I say. I sort of want to try and create new relationships and interactions, you know? Like giving people money on the train to go up and ask somebody else where they're from. You know, creating moments where people have to engage each other in circumstances where they normally see past each other. So, you want to pay people to have interactions that they don't want to have, instead of actually using money in a way that would make a difference. Yeah, I guess. Well, I don't know what to say to that. That just sounds really, what? Manipulative. Fuck that Courtney Martin. December 14th, 3 a.m. Can't sleep. Why can't I do this? This should be something I can do. December 14th, 3:30 a.m. What if I get sick and can't go to New York? That's it. I'm sick. Can't go. December 15th, 11 a.m. Damn it. I just set up a meeting in New York for Tuesday. I gotta go. What about food poisoning? Can't that hit you and then you're out for like 12 hours and then you're good to go? December 16th, 5 p.m. So this is now Saturday, okay? Day before yesterday. What was that? The first day was when Courtney sent it on the 15th, a month and a week ago. Okay. Reading an interview with Lawrence Weschler, who's talking about an essay he wrote about an artist who draws pictures of currency and then uses that currency to buy stuff, like a beer at a bar. And then he sells the receipt that he gets, and the receipt that he gives to the collector, that person goes back and finds the person who got the, who bought the work, and then he buys it off that person for like $10,000, and then they have the work that is this artist, right? So it's the experience and the actual product. And I say, I want to do something like that. I want new relationships to emerge from this $100. But every relationship will be bought, my friend says. Don't you think that just demeans the interaction? It cheapens it? I think, yes, it does. I'm a bit of an asshole, but nonetheless, I have a compromise that I strike with myself, and that is that I'm going to match Courtney's $100. All right, and for one of the $100, I'm going to do something that creates relationships, right? That is like potentially not going to make a significant difference in people's lives, and then the other $100, I'm going to split the difference and use to actually do something that potentially could make a difference in people's lives. Okay, so the first idea, the less philanthropic of the two, was that I went to a bookstore in DC, Kramer Books, and I went up to a stranger and I said, I want you to find a book that was really meaningful to you, and then you're going to give it to another stranger in the bookstore, and they're going to find a book that was really meaningful to them. And then you're going to trade books and tell each other why this book was so meaningful. And potentially, what was that? Yes! Potentially these new relationships will emerge from that. Okay, so the first person I go up to is like, yeah, that's really weird, I don't want to do anything like that. To which I feel like a total asshole. So I go up, and then I think to myself, all right, I have to do this, right? This thing is tomorrow. So I go up to another person, and they're like totally excited. So the first pair is Elaine and John, and I'm going to pass around. Okay, so Elaine bought for John The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein, and in return, John gave Elaine an autobiography of a Catholic monk called The Seven-Story Tower. All right, so you can pass this around. So then I had them pick two other people in the store, and they picked Vicky and Drew. So Vicky gave Drew a book called Who's Irish?, which is a collection of short stories written by a Chinese-American writer, and she told him all about how important this was when she was in college and read this book and learned that there was this literature around her own culture. And he gave her, in response, Faulkner's Sound and the Fury, because he read it in high school and it turned him on to reading. All right? So we'll pass this around. Okay, and then last, Nella and Ted. And Nella was from Peru and gave Ted The Road Less Traveled, which was a book about recovering hope and love in times of loss. And she said that a friend of hers had cancer and was dying and read the book and it changed their life. And then when she was going through a hard time, he recommended the book to her and it really helped her out. So she gave that book to Ted, and Ted gave her a biography of John Adams, because he just thought it was really crazy how people lived back then. So you can pass that one around. Okay, so that was one of the $100. The other one was that I learned, actually, in the process of doing this, about this great website called kiva.org, where you can do small micro-lending grants, and there are like thousands listed around the world, right? So a friend of mine is the assistant principal of a school in South Minneapolis. It's a very low-income area. And what we're going to do is in 4 classrooms, these kids are going to do micro-lending projects, where they're going to pick one project that they want to fund for $25, and then after it gets, there's all these different entrepreneurs, after that money is used for some project of like a stand in Bangladesh to sell, slippers, the money's going to get paid back to the kids, and they're just going to keep doing it until they graduate from the elementary school. So those are the 2 projects. All right. So